It's consensus because we believe he's got a lot to give to the club. But the expectations of the club at times can be very, very difficult. And when you consider that in that list of players that he's competing with, he's got Elaine Lake, Divine Lunga, and Oprimo Diba, and it becomes very difficult for a youngster like him to crack it. But we do believe he's got a very bright future and he will come back and help us. Maybe we're also working with Caetano, we'll toughen him up a little bit and he will come back ready to compete and fight for his place.
What's the status of Safedra's deal and Nasir, who was obviously an assessment for the past 2 weeks?
Safreda, we have signed, we have registered him for CAF as well. So we have synced with him. He's a very good football player. And Nasir, I prefer not to comment.
So is Sirino registered then?
Yes.
Coach, the window closed yesterday. Where do you feel which you fell short as Sundowns, or are you happy with what you've got and what you've acquired? I mean, you've signed big shots. I mean, take us through as well the young Mokoena. What does it bring to Sundowns?
Brings goals. Because we've got a lot of good midfielders, but it's always important to add a midfielder that adds numbers in terms of assists and goals. And Mokoena is that kind of a midfielder that you know is going to help you on set pieces, is going to help you with his passing range is very good from short, medium to long. He's a hard-working midfielder, very disciplined, very focused, national team player that has a responsibility to also play week in and week out, because when you are playing for the national team, you are not only fighting to play for Sundowns, you are also fighting to make sure that you don't lose your place in the national team, and that is what we are trying to get towards now, to have a lot of players that have got a lot to lose if they are not fighting for their places, and I believe he's going to help us a lot.
Is he a replacement for Sampo?
For Sampo? No, you can't. Those shoes are very big. He's another player that is slightly different from Sampo. Can play both as a 6 and an 8. Can fit well in a 4-3-3 formation as an 8. Can also play in a 4-4-2 as a 6 or an 8. So we know what he can give to us. So it gives us a whole lot of variations that we would like to try and see what he can get. And maybe just to give you a scoop, in the friendly that we played against Juanen Galaxy this weekend in Marang, he scored 3 goals. So you will understand what I mean.
Value for money?
Yeah?
Value for money?
Of course.
Who scored the other 3?
Yeah?
Who scored the other 3?
Miami scored 2. Swane scored 1.
Coach, we know of late, in years, Sundowns has been tapping into...
Nasir scored.
We know that Sundowns has been tapping into the South American market for a long time. I mean, you've got the Safrancos of this world. So we want to know the secret, just to keep an eye on that South American market, making sure that you bring those players.
Safranco is coming. We've got a very good network of scouts that are doing a lot of work for us. But technology is also helping us because we use data to compare and sift and come closer to what we are looking for, because we know our key performance areas that we are looking for. If we are looking for a dribbler, maybe left-footed or right-footed, who's got a high number of assists, a high number of goals, box entries and all those things. We look at all these things before we can even look at the player. Once we have seen, we've lost a lot of other players. One of them is signed for Liverpool now, we should have signed him before he joined Porto.
Diaz?
Yes. We were on top of Diaz. Unfortunately, we delayed 1 or 2 days and he signed for Porto. And now he's at we have looked at a lot of players. I don't want to lie to you. You will think I'm lying when I say even Vinicius was on our list of players that we should have signed. And he was not even at Real Madrid. He was not at Real Madrid. We saw him in the Brazilian Cup and we were trying to chase him and we slept a little bit. The following day was signed to Real Madrid.
Coach, was there an effort to loan out promise in this window?
I prefer not to comment.
Coach, just 2 questions on Coach Pitt. This starts again another big assignment for South Africa in the Champions League. And also, the fact that they will be traveled a lot before we leave them. How much of that would be more or less a disadvantage or an advantage for the rhythm next one?
Who would have travelled more?
And having been to Abu Dhabi and then coming back to South Africa for the Champions League.
No, we will be coming from Sudan as well. So from Sudan we will have maybe to go straight to Egypt because our first match is in Egypt. Then immediately thereafter I think we will be in the same flight coming down to South Africa.
On the role that he has as a South African, presenting us as a kind of team in Abu Dhabi.
We are very happy with South African coaches. One of our ambassadors represented us on that stage and showing the world what is capable of. Because even now, if we are honest to ourselves, we've been cheated by FIFA not to give them the coach of the season award. If you consider the amount of continental trophies that he won in 1 year, and because maybe he's African, maybe because he's coming from this continent, he does not deserve to get the credit that he deserves, because it's very difficult for one to win 2 Champions League and a Super Cup in 1 year and still not be selected to be the coach of the season. But we have to respect these decisions, because we Africans, we are humble, we are not arrogant. But the truth of the matter is, if we were to look at the balance of everything, he should have been to take the power, and it would have been great for South Africa. Maybe now he's getting another chance to go to the Club World Cup and show the quality that he can bring to the world.
Coach, when you look at the transfer market, you look at the performance at Sundowns, 14 points clear. You've signed the best player in the country, arguably. A great winger who's a bit aging, and the 2 foreigners we don't know, but we assume their quality. The other big teams in the country have been a bit muted in response, and they're already the Ethiopian and the South American. I forget the names.
Ethiopian, I did not comment about.
Is it? I couldn't hear. Sorry. Okay, but even those signings, everyone else has been a bit muted in a way. The big clubs, and they're already behind you in performance a bit. For a team that's competing in that space, the top space, as you do, is it a bit disappointing that when you come back, the week in, week out is not as competitive? And I know each club has got its own issues, but that Sundowns are so far ahead, it seems, at the moment. I mean, if it would help you compete better if the week in, week out was a bit stronger. Is that a feeling at all?
I would be lying if I say that is the feeling, because we believe we are getting very serious competition in the country. We may look like we are winning regularly, or we've got a lot of wins and less losses. But the truth of the matter is the competition in the league is very good, and it's really pushing us up. But what many people fail to understand is that when we reinforce the team, it's not because we are looking at the PSL. We are looking at our competitors, and we are still far behind our competitors in terms of the market value of the players that we bring in and all that. We are competing with Al Ahly, we are competing with Wydad, we are competing with Zamalek, and all these teams are in terms of their value and what they bring into the game, they make us to look like underdogs, and we have to fight for that space and make sure that we take ourselves to a level that we all believe Sundowns can be capable of. And at times people think when we sign players it's because it's a show off. It's not a show off. In essence, we are trying to prepare a team that we think, based on the challenges that we have seen in the Champions League, we have a bigger responsibility to make sure that we have a team that can compete and really represent South Africa in the bigger scale of things.
In retrospect, I couldn't hear you earlier. With Sirino, would it have been better to let him go, given how things have turned out? I don't know if you can comment on that.
No, but the club does not have a problem to let anyone go. He's a very important player in the club. He's a very good player, and he's showing all the signs that he really wants to get back and play now. And we could not just let him go when there are no offers on the table, and when he shows that he wants to play for us. I believe he's going to come back stronger. Maybe the arrival of South Africa will make him to be even more powerful for us, and maybe it will really bring the best out of him.
Thank you.